Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It's another beautiful day in the crypto bull market. Yes, it's a beautiful day. I know the prices don't reflect that, but the setup is happening for the next explosive move. And we're going to talk about the different signals, metrics, stats, and much more. We'll talk a bit about what's happening in the market and the craziness around meme coins and Javier Milei and Libra meme coin. It's kind of crazy, man. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Good morning, investing. Good morning, Adam Sprout. Matthew Davis, welcome in. David R. Morla, welcome in. Got a lot of folks in here. On your way in, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't as yet. And if you're watching or listening from another platform like Twitter or X, I should say, hit the heart button. Let me turn off my phone here so it doesn't... Let's see. Okay. Come on in, guys. David says, I've been here since 2021. Welcome in, David. Well, I think you came in, kind of the year where we were peaking, like how we are this year, 2025. But you certainly got an opportunity to make some good returns this year. Etron, good morning. Parsa, good morning. Welcome in, everybody. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit the 5-star rating. Hit the heart button. Wherever you're watching, listening. We're streaming on YouTube, of course, X, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. We're all over the place. I think kick.com as well. Nathan French, good morning. Welcome in, guys. It is another great day in the crypto bull market. Now, if you're looking at the micro, the hourly, the daily, weekly, it's not gonna be fun, right? But we're looking at the macro. We zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out to see where the market has come from and where it's going. Where are we in the timeline of the bull market? And not using our feelings or emotions, but the data. Okay, guys, let's kick it off. Actually, you know what? Let's give it one more minute. Let some folks come on in. It looks like people are coming in now. G-Dog, welcome in. Martin says, I don't think anything will happen today. Do you think? Reading some Denmark. No, Martin, I think, I don't think anything's going to happen. I think we got, honestly, about another week or so, I think, of volatility. It could be a bit longer before the market starts to move upwards. Gustavo, wow, you've been with me since 2017. Amazing, man. Thank you so much. And you could be considered an OG. There's not too many people who got in 2017. A lot of people came in 2020, 2021. Assault Trojan says, could this be a black swan event from meme coins? No, I don't think so. I think it's not great for the market, but I don't think it's black swan because we'll talk about the data today. There hasn't been any invalidation. It hasn't caused the market to collapse or crash, kind of like what took place in March 2020. You guys know what I'm talking about. All right, guys, we'll get started here. Once again, hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't as yet. All right, guys, so Bitcoin and altcoins continue to just chop sideways. This bounce, these fake outs, up and down, up and down, up and down. Looks like it's going to break out, fake out. Looks like it's going to keep crashing down, fakes us out. It's so boring. It's so annoying, but these are things that happen in bull markets and they happen in the market overall. So we got to be patient. Let's talk about, has there been any invalidation of the bull market, right? We got bad meme coin news. The market's just boring right now. No, there's no invalidation. Notice we are still above the 200-day moving average, above the 200-week moving average. I've shared with you guys before, if we go below the 200-day and even the 200-week, that's when things get really nasty, right? It means like we are headed into a bear market. That has not happened. We are still very comfortably sitting above that 200-week moving average. This is the data, right? Go back, you can go back and pull this up on the charts, go back to 2017. Anytime we are above these moving averages, that's a very good sign. Good things happen above these moving averages. When you go below, bad things happen. So that's our first metric. We are still above these moving averages, which we've seen historically means we are still in the bull market. From a time perspective, and this is a great chart from Rect Capital, it shows we still got ways to go from a time perspective and how the market has moved historically. So that's a good sign. Time is on our side here. The Bitcoin monthly chart, when you really zoom out, you notice the Bitcoin monthly RSI has not hit that green zone yet, as it did in 2021 and back in 2017. And this doesn't go all the way back to 2014, but you guys get the idea. When we are seeing in that green zone, it means we are overheated, and that is definitely a top signal because this is a very macro chart. It's the monthly, so it's really zoomed out, right, guys? So notice the RSI is saying, nope, we have not hit that yet. We're not nowhere near there. So I think we still have further upside to go. What's interesting is that we could see something play out like we saw last year in the summer. It won't be as long of a consolidation, but if you recall, last year there was that boring chop zone. It was on a slight decline, and then we ripped up, right? Man, I hope this one is not as long as the one that took place in the summer of last year after the big peak we had in March and April, where the Bitcoin ETFs were launched and then the huge consolidation. I hope we don't experience that long of a consolidation. I personally don't think so because timing-wise, seasonality-wise. So just keep in mind, go back and look at the chart patterns historically. You'll see these things, right? So Bitcoin monthly chart RSI looks solid. Still, there's confirmation of the bull market. The total altcoin market, this still looks bullish from a chart perspective. So we will start to move eventually, guys. And as I've been saying, I think the latter half of February is when we start to see the markets bounce. Not a guarantee, of course, but based on seasonality, based on different factors, which I'm going to share with you guys. And one of those factors is global liquidity is starting to rebound. This is the data now, not my feelings or emotions. And we've seen risk assets such as crypto, the stock market, and much more. They start to move with global liquidity. This is what drives asset prices. And this includes the M2 money supply from all central banks around the world. We saw China has been doing a lot of liquidity injections. We saw Canada talk about starting QE again. And then you look at the United States. I've been sharing this with you guys for the past few months. They're going to start injecting liquidity and eventually go back to full-on QE. Now, what some folks are recognizing is that they may not call it quantitative easing, QE, this time around. They may give it a different name. So Thomas on the market says, not QE, QE has officially started. A liquidity injection that could total up to $842 billion from the U.S. Treasury general account began this week. So talking about last week. Functionally, this is similar to quantitative easing, but on a temporary basis. Here's everything that is happening in simple terms. From my understanding, the official debt ceiling induced Treasury general account drawdown began on Wednesday, February 12th. As the U.S. government's $36 trillion debt limit is now binding, the Treasury cannot issue new debt. So guys, this is a foundational knowledge that you have to have, even if you're not investing in crypto, you're just investing in stock or real estate. When they have to keep printing money, and this is why they raised the debt ceiling, and you see the political show back and forth, but both Democrats and Republicans are on the same page when it comes to keeping this thing going. Because if they don't, it will be the collapse of the markets and the economy and our civilization. Because the United States is obviously the world's superpower with the world reserve currency. So that is foundational, right? They have to keep printing. There's no way they can keep doing quantitative easing forever. Now they go to quantitative easing to help cool inflation, right? And to suck out some liquidity from the market, cool down the markets, and then they go back to business. That is the boom and bust cycle of this capitalism fiat currency system. Once you understand this, you know how to position yourself into assets, when to buy, when to sell. So we're going to see another liquidity injection here, and I think the markets are going to rip on this news and on these actions, I should say, the stock market and crypto. So Thomas says, so it's being forced to use the cash from the TGA to fund spending. This is a liquidity injection, flooding the market with new liquidity and pushing up bank reserves. The train is now in motion and will not stop until lawmakers come to a new debt ceiling agreement, probably involving raising or suspending the ceiling. On Tuesday, February 11th, the TGA balance stood at $842 billion. So the potential maximum length of the train tracks is $842 billion. So guys, you know what's coming, right? I told you over the past 2 years, they're going to pause rates, then they're going to start cutting rates, then they're going to end QE, and then the Fed is going to print money. They're going to start buying securities again. They go back to the status quo. They have to. There's no other way. There's no other choice. There's even articles coming out now about the same concept. They're going to do QE, but they won't say it's QE. They're going to do it in different ways. And the headline here is what Trump's upcoming goal revaluation shock will look like. I don't know all the details about this, and I'm not fully well versed in the gold aspect of things, but I hope you see the signals are there. All of this is good for crypto, the stock market, and much more. In addition, the DXY, the dollar currency index, is starting to break down. The correlation has been inverse. When the DXY is pumping, risk assets are suffering. And when the DXY is collapsing, risk assets start to move up. So the macro is setting up here. The foundation is setting up here for the next move. And I know some of you are going to say, but Tony, look at what took place in Q4. The dollar was pumping along with crypto. Yes, and that's an outlier. Go back and look at the data from years and years and years. That is an outlier. That was Trump, and Raoul Pal, macro investor, outlined it really well. That was Trump and the tariff and the currency war that's been taking place. Definitely an outlier, because you go back and you look at historical bull markets, you don't see the DXY pumping along with risk assets. So, but now it's starting to collapse. That was, this was a short-lived outlier moment. So good sign for risk assets, and the setup is here for the next pump. Now, what are the whales doing? The guys who move the markets. Data now, right? Wallets with 10 or more Bitcoin, guys, continue to accumulate. Yes, there's, your peaks, little peaks and valleys here, but there's no drop off. There's no downward decline or down pressure here. It is continuing to climb. So whales are still bullish. They still anticipate that higher prices are coming. And if I go back and just show you guys some data here, look what they were doing last year around March into April. That was the Bitcoin ETF buy the rumor, sell the news event, right? Bitcoin was ahead of its timeline. It hit a new all-time high before the halving. It was pretty wild, right? So Bitcoin was doing its thing there, but look what the whales were doing. They're like, okay, that's it. The market's going to cool down. We're going to start dumping. Then when the market found its bottom, what did they do? They start buying. I hope you guys see what I'm trying to present here. This is the data, not my feelings or emotions. So very insightful what the data is telling us and showing us. Same thing with supply and exchanges. Supply and exchanges is going down. Guess what it was doing last year? It was up, right? They were moving the coins on the exchanges into that same February, March, April zone. They start selling, and then eventually the supply starts running down as they start buying and moving it off. So guys, the data is showing us here what the whales are anticipating, and that's a good sign that they are still bullish. They are still anticipating higher prices. All right, Bitcoin Pi cycle top indicator has not flashed. Notice we're using multiple signals. We don't depend on one or two signal. We're using 7, 8, 9, 10 signals, right, to make sure our thesis is valid. So the Pi cycle top indicator, where you have that 111-day moving average touching and then crossing sometimes the 350-day moving average. Notice nowhere close, but it's trajectory is moving towards hitting, right, and then crossing. So this is a really good metric, and it's a macro level metric. So this has not flashed. That's a good sign. The CBBI score here, the Bitcoin Bull Run Index, is only at a 79. Historically, it is at 90 and above when we are near the peak. So this is taking into account multiple signals here, and then creating a weight, an average here on a scale of 1 to 100. Notice we are at about 79, so we're not far away from 90 to 100. So that means, as I've been saying, we are in the final phase of the bull market. Now that can play over months, even to a year. So don't get me wrong. Some people think, oh, when you say it's in the final phase or we're in the fifth wave, the macro fifth wave, they think, oh no, it's gonna blow off top next week. No, that's not the case. You have to zoom out. But we are not far from it, guys. So this is the year. I think we see that blow off top. And this is why you want to have a cash out plan, guys, and make sure you are positioned to take profits if you are choosing to take profits. Some people are saying, hey, I'm not going to cash out anything. I'm holding till 2028, 2030. That's fine. It's your decision. Everybody has to make the best decisions for themselves financially. But personally, I will be taking profits. I'll be reinvesting some of those profits in the bear market. I'll be paying off some debt and things along those lines. So, guys, bull market's not over. I know it's boring as hell. I know it's annoying as hell. I know some of you, maybe your first go around and it's painful. There's a lot of people putting fear out there. Bears are trying to short the market, but you got to go back to the data. Notice I didn't tell you anything about my feelings or emotions, and I'm just pointing you to data and what the data is telling us here, guys. So I'm still very bullish. And then don't forget, guys, the backdrop here is that we saw in SEC filings that came out just last week, all of the institutional investors that have been buying the Bitcoin ETFs, even Paul Tudor Jones, billionaire Paul Tudor Jones, expanded his position. We saw sovereign wealth funds were buying, all the major Wall Street firms, Jane Street, Goldman Sachs, they are all buying. The other backdrop is we have the most pro-crypto government ever. Trump, Congress, SEC, CFTC, and much more. And remember, when you see a blow off top, it's not like this. It's not fearful. It's not boring. It's euphoric. It's greedy. So don't miss the backdrop, right? And in addition to the data, this thing is not over yet, guys. You just got to be patient. It's a thing of controlling your emotions, and don't look at your portfolio in these boring zones. If this thing is just chopping sideways, don't look at your portfolio, guys. I haven't looked at my ledger or even certain exchange accounts where I have a little bit of crypto on for like the past week and a half, because there's no need to. I don't need to, right? I've trained myself like, yeah, I'm not going to look at it because it's probably going to be, depressing as hell. Don't get me wrong. Like, I was buying at the bottom December 2022 into January 2023. So my portfolio is up, but at the same time, it's down in the short term. So, I want to maintain my mental health, right? So that's why I'm not looking at it, guys. So TLDR, guys, bull market's not over. Be patient. The macro is setting up beautifully here. Global liquidity, DXY, and we are going to see a rip come soon. I think towards the end of February into March and April, and then we'll all forget these boring, painful times. But you kind of have to not forget it, because you have to keep it in the back of your mind to keep the balance. Don't get too euphoric or too greedy. Don't get too bearish, right? Don't let the market play with your emotions. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button that this crypto market's not over. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the heart button on Twitter or wherever you're watching and listening. And check out our sponsor, Propy, which is putting real estate on chain. Guys, I am so bullish on this project. I invested in the Propy token back in 2018. And that's how bullish I am, because they are leading the charge, guys. They're leading the charge when it comes to adding crypto on the I can't talk on the blockchain, where you can buy, sell with crypto. They're putting titles and deeds on the blockchain. This is the future. This is what we've been talking about, guys, with tokenization, right? Propy is leading that charge. Now they got a great campaign going on that you can check out where you can earn pro tokens by just doing things like sharing their video, signing up and inviting a friend. Get some free tokens, guys. Get some free tokens. I'll go to let me drop it in the chat here for you guys so you can go check it out. So go check out Propy. You can check them out on Twitter. They just launched a great ad. It's like a Super Bowl-esque ad, and it's really great. Go check it out, guys. Propy's doing some amazing things, and you can earn some free Propy on Base. And they actually use Coinbase for the escrow services. So Propy's doing some amazing things. And yes, I have this in my portfolio. And before they were a sponsor, I had this token in my portfolio since like 2018. So the token has actually done pretty well since then. It's appreciated pretty well. So guys, check out Propy. Also check out my newsletter. It's 100% free. Sign up. Check out my book on Amazon and check out my new course at mycryptocourse.com. Comprehensive course, includes expert commentary from founders, CEOs, institutional investors. No other crypto course offers that. So be sure to check it out. All right, guys. We got to talk about the madness coming out from Argentine President Javier Milei. This is wild, man. This meme coin stuff has got to stop. Now, I believe in the free market. I believe people should invest in what they want. But the problem is the guardrails are not in place for these meme coins. People are getting rugged. If the rug aspect was removed and people invested in them, that's fine. But we can't have people getting rugged and losing their money, man. That what kind of market is that, right? So I think regulations are going to have to come in to address this because I don't even think Javier Milei himself knew what happened. The problem is he partnered with some people to create this Libra token with good intentions. They were trying to raise capital to help, with the country and develop certain things. But of course, it gets launched and then rug. And then now he's getting sued in his own country over this. And the guy apparently who helped him to do this was Julian Pay, if I'm saying that right. He got Javier Milei to tweet out about this token, and then he rugged it for $87 million. So we can't have this stuff happening. And the problem is, you got new people coming into the market. They think, oh, yeah, I can invest in this. It's coming from a president. And then all of a sudden they lose their money, and that could turn them off on crypto entirely. So this really sucks. We got to have some sort of guardrail in place, some sort of regulation. It's crazy, man. And we saw the central, I forgot what's it called, the country in Africa last week. They launched a meme coin, and obviously Donald Trump launched a meme coin. Now Donald Trump didn't necessarily rug anybody because the coin is still up. It's still, I think it saw some movement last week, and he actually put out some tokenomics. Now I'm not invested in it. That's not for me, honestly. I tweeted out about it this morning. Meme coins are like going to the casino and gambling or playing the lottery. That's what it is. It's not investing, guys. It is not investing. So PSA, buying meme coins is not investing. It's akin to going to the casino and gambling and playing the lottery, but you get the added benefit of getting rugged. And in fact, the people who are buying these meme coins, if they just held on to their Solana and have a long-term outlook, they're guaranteed. I shouldn't say guaranteed. They are they have a high probability of making a decent return and a better chance of making a return versus gambling on these meme coins. So just be careful, guys. Once again, I'm not against people being able to invest in meme coins because I believe in the free market. What I'm against is that there's no guardrails stopping people from rugging you, right? All of a sudden, somebody launched a meme coin, people put their money in, and then boom, rugged. Come on, right? That's not investing. And let's see what the U.S. government and some of these other governments do about this. Not specifically to Milei, just overall the meme coin market. But this is bad. Like he's getting negative press now. It gives crypto negative press, right? After all the great things we saw over the past year with institutional investors and the governments and all these things, These, these things are going to carry a lot of headlines, and they're going to get sensationalized, and the people who were maybe on the fence about crypto, they're going to get turned off. So we got to put a stop to this and put the guardrails in place, because it's pretty crazy, man. So I hope, I don't know if any of you invested in the Libra meme coin, but it's pretty wild. Guys, hit that thumbs up button, hit the heart button, hit the 5-star button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't as yet. We're going to answer some questions and pull up some charts for you guys, but just wanted to let you know about this Milei thing, man, and Libra meme coin. This stuff really annoys me, because I don't like to see people lose money and get scammed, and it's also putting, negative news out there about crypto, which really sucks. Now, speaking of negative news, Jason Calacanis, he's one of the besties on the All In podcast. I actually like Jason. And the banter him and David Sachs usually have about politics, and Jason's been successful in Web 2, but he's a big time crypto skeptic and hater. The man's been tweeting negative stuff about crypto since 2018. I tweeted out here where back in 2018 he tweeted, Bitcoin #Bitcoin zero is likely the case, 60 to 70%. If you own Bitcoin, understand it's a highly manipulated currency with no rules or regulations. If you didn't get in early, you're a sucker at the table. $3,700. Ouch. This is this is when we entered the bear market after the 2017 bull. So just coming in the bear market and saying, oh, look, it's down. Well, yeah, everything goes down in the bear market. Like stocks go down in the bear market, duh. But, he's trying to paint it in a negative light. Now, look at this. Yesterday, he tweeted out the following about XRP. XRP is essentially controlled security. Is that a question for anyone here? According to every crypto OG I talked to, it's the opposite of Bitcoin. If the SEC allows it to trade like Bitcoin, then securities laws will be worthless. There will be chaos in the markets as a million startups, funds, and grifters start dumping 50% of their coins on retail while slowly selling 50% they own and control. So he goes on and on, right? Massive FUD, completely wrong, and he's going nuts. Community noted him about the decentralized aspect of the XRP ledger, and he's getting roasted. But what some folks are saying, and even David Sachs, is that he only allows subscribers to respond. So he's engagement farming. He's baiting people to try to get them to sign up for his subscriptions. So it's a money-making strategy here, or scheme. But I tweeted out, that, look, is he Kramer 2.0, right? This is a bullish sign that he's saying these negative things at this point in the market, like he did with Bitcoin. And now, XRP has been ripping, of course, and is set up to move very strong again. So this is a bullish sign, in addition to him trying to make some money. Now, he's a rich guy. The guy's a multimillionaire. I don't know why he needs $3 subscriptions on X. It's kind of ridiculous. But David Sachs called him out about that scam he's running, right? Making people pay $3, and he's just posting stuff for engagement farming. So just FYI, this one's making the news. And there was actually an article back in November highlighting that, if you invested $1,000 in Bitcoin when All In podcast Jason Calacanis said Bitcoin was going to zero, here's how much you would have. So he's getting roasted and called out, in different ways. But watch out for these guys, right? You got to look at their intentions. I personally think, because I've noticed him tweet in support of Gensler, tweet in support of saying crypto coins are all securities and we need to update the securities law and something like that. I think he's one of the guys getting disrupted by crypto because he helps to fund startups and things like that. So this absolutely takes the power away from him. So I think that's the root of all of his naysayer type thing, right? It's like the guys who complain too much. It's like in Shakespeare's Hamlet, the lady doth protest too much, right? There's something hidden. You're being too aggressive here. There's something behind the scenes, and he's one of the guys getting disrupted. But he will eventually capitulate. This is the future. Blockchains are not going away. Cryptos are not going away. The genie's out of the bottle. There's no putting it back in. And all of these guys are going to get disrupted. And the future of fundraising, in my opinion, will be through tokens. Obviously, there needs to be regulations. But what we're seeing with the meme coins and ICOs we've seen historically, that is the future of fundraising. So I'm bullish, guys. And like I said, when in doubt, zoom out. Guys, once again, check out our sponsor, Propy, and their new campaign where you can earn tokens, and check out their new ad. It's really great. And like I said, check out my newsletter, 100% free sign up. Check out my book on Amazon and my new course at mycryptocourse.com. All right, guys, let's answer some questions in the chat. Randy says, XRP centralized, XRP security. That's not true, Randy. Now, you may say it's not as decentralized as Bitcoin. I agree there, because there's levels to decentralization. I think Bitcoin is the most decentralized asset out there, network. But to say XRP centralized, if you're comparing it to JP Morgan or some of these other things, it is not centralized. Now, you could say, hey, it could be more, the XRP ledger could be more decentralized. Yeah, that's a fair statement. But to say it's centralized, I think is intellectually dishonest. FDT, condoning rug pulling in front. I don't know, was someone condoning it? I was not. I was clearly saying that we need to put regulations in place to stop that. Yeah, XRP is not a security. Judge Torres ruled that it's intrinsically not a security. Well, Randy, who should I listen to, you or a judge? Who should I listen to, you or the data of the validators on the XRP ledger? You know what I mean? Show data. Just saying, hey, this sucks and this is centralized carries no value unless you're backing it up with data and facts. Daniel Smith says, altcoin are suddenly dropping. Yeah, altcoins. Yeah. Guys, don't, like I said, we are still in the middle of this chop. Notice what Bitcoin's the measuring stick. Look at this. Fake out, fake out, fake out, fake out, fake out, fake out, right? Just chopping sideways, bears and bulls getting faked out, and altcoins are going to bleed. That's just how it is. This is why I tell you guys, don't listen to people who get you in your feelings or emotions and conspiracy theories. Listen to data and facts. The market moves with Bitcoin. We've seen it. The liquidity usually comes in to Bitcoin, then it flows to the altcoins. Are there outlier moments like Solana last year getting a lot of liquidity, like this year XRP getting a lot of liquidity directly? Yes, but those are outliers. But the majority of the altcoin market moves with Bitcoin. So please understand that. There's people who like to tell you all kinds of fairy tales. We're not here for fairy tales. We're here to look at data and facts and to make returns and make good money, right? JT says, do you have a plan to get involved in XRP ETFs when available? If so, why not just buy XRP? So JT, the ETFs, it's a good question. The ETFs are more for the mainstream people who don't understand the technology, don't know how to set up a wallet, don't understand crypto exchanges. It's where I like to think of it, it's like for my mom and dad. They're older folks. They're not going to be able to go to Coinbase and buy crypto, like honestly, right? But through their financial advisor, they can get exposure to XRP via an ETF or Bitcoin. It is for the masses. So JT, you and I and the rest of the folks here, we're early adopters. And we get it, right? We are able to go buy directly, but the majority of people aren't. You know what I mean? So keep in mind who the ETFs are for. I actually saw Plan B. Surprisingly, Plan B said he is moving his Bitcoin to ETFs. So this is interesting. And some people are hating on him about it, but look, if he wants to do that, he can do that. Right? He says, I have transferred my Bitcoin to ETFs. Yes, I know, not your keys, not your coins, but it's just easier for me to manage Bitcoin the same way as equities and bonds. Also, not having to hassle with keys gives me peace of mind. I guess I am not a maxi anymore. Look, the ETFs are being custodied by the biggest institutions in the world, BlackRock, and the banks. With SOB 121 getting repealed, the banks are going to get involved. So the risk is lower. Now, yes, I agree, not your keys, not your coins. And I prefer to personally custody my own crypto. But the masses, you have to understand, we are a small segment of early adopters that believe in self-custody. the average Joe and Jane, you go walk on the street, it's going to scare them. They don't understand. They're going to be like, what? Seed phrase, 24 seed phrase. What if I lose it? What if, what if this and that? They don't understand it, but they understand ETFs. They understand financial advisors who, Charles Schwab, Edward Jones, Fidelity people who tell them, hey, just put your money in the ETFs, right? We custody it for you. They're comfortable with that. So you have to understand how the consumer's trained and what they've been used to. Toma Chiffy, he says, I have no Bitcoin. I have Bitcoin. I believe in holding Bitcoin as digital gold, and I believe in a diverse portfolio, but to each his own. Let's see here. I only got XRP and other coins. Okay. Randy says, David Sachs even said they are focusing on technology. What is technologies? Like Bitcoin that are decentralized, aka not XRP. Yeah, Randy, that is a false statement. He didn't say XRP or any other coins explicitly. XRP is not a centralized token. It is decentralized. But like I said earlier, Bitcoin is more decentralized as a network, but it's a spectrum, right? To say XRP is centralized is intellectually dishonest. Mr. Gamble Sr. says, but it's not 24/7. Yeah, absolutely. So in the ETFs, you have limitations, right? Weekends, you can't trade it. It's not 24/7. So you're right. There is there's pros and cons. But remember who we're talking about here, right? We're talking about my mom and dad, my aunt and uncle. We're talking about people in the mainstream. So you can't take your level of knowledge and just apply it to the average Joe and Jane. Oker says, what do you think about Axelar? So I actually interviewed one of the folks from Axelar, the co-founder of Axelar, just the other day, right here. Sergey Gorbanov, excuse me. So I don't hold a token, but it seems promising. I like what they're doing. Yeah, the AXL token. Like I said, from the interview, what I heard, I like what this project is doing and the problem they're solving. So I think there's potential here, but I'm not a token holder, and it could do well, honestly. It's not possible to invest in everything. So it rallied last year when Bitcoin and all those when the Bitcoin ETF frenzy was happening, but since then it's been down. It hasn't really seen any strength since then. That doesn't mean it won't find some strength later on, but it's important to note that. Yeah, for sure, Mr. Gamble Sr. The masses are more comfortable with 401ks and ETFs and much more. Daniel Smith said, what do you think the reason is for all the crypto dropping so fast? It's just the chop, Daniel. Honestly, it's the chop. Like Bitcoin is back below 96,000, right? Using Bitcoin as a measuring stick. Once again, no invalidation, and all coins are going to bleed. As I said earlier, I think later in February, the latter half is when we start to see things moving. One of the things I was looking at, though, this weekend was the Ethereum chart, because Ethereum is certainly an indicator as to what altcoins may do. And I like what I'm seeing on the Ethereum chart, not the exact price, but the RSI. It's in the oversold zone. That's a very good sign, guys. Hopefully you can, let me move this out of the way. Hopefully you can see where my mouse is, right? Notice it's in the oversold zone. It's touch below 30. Over 70 is overbought. Below 30 is oversold. Very good sign, my friends, that once again, all these things are lining up. The macro, ETH charts, Bitcoin's monthly RSI, and all these things. Notice over here, when ETH got overheated, its RSI was over 70. So oversold, very, very good sign, my friends. And ETH, look, it rallied off the bear market bottom, obviously. It doesn't have far to go to break its all-time high, guys. So ETH, once again, even if you don't hold it, what we've seen historically is when ETH performs really well, it's very good for the entire altcoin market. JT says, been listening to you since 2017 when I first bought XRP. Do you do this full time? JT, so thank you for your support for being with me since 2017. I now do it full time. At the beginning of 2024, I went full time with this. It was scary, of course, because I left my regular day job, and I've been doing the YouTube channel part time over the years for fun, honestly, and it became a business. And I launched my book last year, so yeah, I'm doing it full time now, guys. So that's why, if you can support me, you know what I mean, sign up for my newsletter, grab a copy of my book, check out my new course at mycryptocourse.com, check out my sponsor Propy, and all these things. That really helps me out. So thank you, guys. So guys, yeah, Ethereum looking good. JT says, when retirement, XRP $20. So the XRP chart, guys, I've been saying I think XRP can go between $8 to $10. And it is obviously doing really well this bull market cycle. We got ETFs on the horizon. The chart just looks bullish. You got naysayers and haters capitulating and making content about XRP now. But, I've been positioned in XRP since 2017, guys, buying at 10 cents, 15 cents, and all that. So my portfolio is up. I'm in a good position, but I'm looking for higher prices. At $5, I'm going to start taking profits. I'm not cashing out all of it, but taking profits off the table. Obviously at 6, 7, 8. And if we can go to $10 or so, that will be amazing. Life-changing money. So I am bullish on XRP, guys. It passed, if not hit, its all-time high. So that's a very good sign. So now it's going to enter price discovery soon, in my opinion. Yeah, D. Jenny from the blockchain says, complaining about a $96,000 Bitcoin is so 2025. Remember the previous 15 years of Bitcoin and where we've come from? Yeah, this is why I keep telling people, when in doubt, zoom out. You have to look at where we've come from to get an idea where we're going. Look, there were people saying Bitcoin was dead. I just shared what Jason Calacanis was saying. He was saying, oh, look, it's dead. It's going to die. $3,700. And now look at where we're at, $95,000. Obviously, we went to 108 before the cool down. But when in doubt, zoom out, guys. This is why I'm trying to point people to investing versus buying meme coin. Meme coins is gambling and playing the lottery. You're better off going to the casino and playing the lottery than investing in meme coins. And put your investment money into assets that are proven, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, and things like that. They've been around for multiple cycles, even Solana as well, right? But look, human beings are going to be human beings, right? We tried to get a lot of people try to get the fast money, but that's not investing. Frankie says, XRP not proof of stake, therefore better decentralized than ETH and other proof of stake chain where you can buy influence, or proof of work where you can buy influence by energy. I don't fully agree with that, Frankie, but it's all about the validators and to your point, like you have to look at the proof of stake network to see who are the biggest holders of the token, right? Thanks, JT. Appreciate it. Oker says XLR is solving interoperability. Larry Fink says crypto is multi. Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like after my interview with Sergey Gorbanov, one of the founders of XLR, I think it's a good project. I love what the idea of it. I personally don't hold it because it's impossible for me to hold all these tokens, and I don't want to spread myself too thin. Frankie says, what do you think about HBAR? So I am bullish on HBAR, Frankie. Very bullish, and the chart looks good, Frankie. Look at this, right? The old all-time high was about 58 cents. HBAR has rallied off the bear market bottom, showing strength not far from the old all-time high. So I think it's going to run this cycle. Now, no guarantees, okay? Because I don't have a crystal ball. But based on what I'm seeing here, very good sign, guys. Very good sign. HBAR's chart looks very strong. Similar to XRP, it just looks really good, right? It's off that bear market bottom. Obviously, XRPs is stronger right now, and Solana as well. Well, Solana's been a leader, obviously, in this cycle, especially most of 2024, 2023, 2024. So I hold these three in my portfolio for sure. JT says $6.50 pays off my mortgage. JT, that's awesome, man. I have similar goals, paying off debt like mortgages and so forth. I said before, I'm not here for a Lambo. I want financial freedom, eliminate debt, obviously upgrade some lifestyle things, right? Obviously do a little bit of spending, but not in the level of buying a Lamborghini, right? Help my family. And then I'm taking some money, putting into retirement, of course. You got to think about the future. And then taking some of that money and then buying the bloody bear market again and preparing for 2028, guys, because I'm going to get as much money out of this market as possible. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Assault Trojan says, did you know the UK FCA is restricting customers from buying crypto? It's split into 3 types of investors. So no, I haven't heard of that. Can you share more details? Do you have an article or something like that you share? AM says, do you trade memes? No, I don't invest or trade memes, guys. What do you think about Starknet? Seems pretty low, even though it's most development chain. Starknet, I don't think have I heard of this? Let's see. Let me pull some data, on-chain data here from Sentiment, because I can see the developer activity for some of these blockchains. Let's see. I don't know. Starknet is part of it. Let's clear out some of this stuff here. Starknet. Oh yeah. Okay. So Starknet, to your point, number 6 in developer activity. That's very good. This is not, the ultimate indicator that a coin is going to pump and do really well, but it's one of the items on a checklist, right? You want to see developer activity, like HBAR is doing really. It's number 4. Cardano, Chainlink. I'm bullish on Chainlink, guys. Internet Computer, I don't have that in my portfolio, but I have Chainlink, Cardano, Hedera. Optimism is up here. Starknet, ETH. Very good sign for ETH that there's a lot of developer activity. Polkadot up here as well. SWI, very good sign. So you want to see this type of activity, guys. This is definitely a metric to pay attention to. And this is indicative of activity, apps being launched, users. So Starknet, certainly seeing activity there. But I don't hold the token, but it is down a lot. Yeah, over the past year, it's down a lot. D. Jenny says, Starknet is an Ethereum layer 2 griff. Sec Mike Hawk says, what do you think is the most slept on crypto category? I think AI. I invested in Fetch and Render. Those did really well for me in 2023, 2024. But I would say AI. Honestly, the AI narrative is so big, but I think people have been focusing more on meme coins instead of tokens like AI. Hey, Michael, thank you for being a channel member. He says here, can we trust the exchanges like Coinbase when the top comes in? So, Michael, great question. Great question. And I think it's a valid concern. Here's what I've done. I personally have accounts with all the major exchanges: Uphold, Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, Crypto.com. All of those accounts are fully KYC'd and AML'd with security layers in place. So if I have a problem with Coinbase, I can move to another exchange and sell there, buy or sell, right? But obviously we're doing selling. So that is my setup, and I make sure my bank account, everything is connected appropriately. So that's the way around it, in my opinion. Hopefully Coinbase does not have issues. It is, obviously the biggest exchange in the US, and my hope is they don't. They upgrade their servers and so forth. But the way around it, guys, Michael, is to have accounts with multiple exchanges. Frankie says, what do you do when family asks for advice buying crypto? So Frankie, great question. So I usually have them start reading the Bitcoin white paper. Like, I need you to understand what this is, why this technology is different. So I usually tell them, go read the Bitcoin white paper, check out my course at mycryptocourse.com. Go learn what this is before you go dump a whole bunch of money in. And I honestly do that, you know, and I say, okay, once you've read through these things, come back to me. If you have questions, I'll answer them. And then let's talk about an investment strategy. That's honestly what I do, Frankie, because I've learned that if you don't educate them, then they don't understand what they're investing in, and they may not be able to have the macro outlook. And knowledge is power. You got to know what you're investing in, right? If this conversation was happening in the 90s and they're like, oh, which .com stocks should I invest in? Well, you should probably do your research first. Understand what the hell Google is, what a search engine is, understand what eBay is, understand what Amazon is, understand the future of commerce on the internet. If you don't know that and you're just going, oh, I'm going to buy this. Oh, I'm going to get pets.com because I like pets. You would have gotten wrecked, right? Because pets.com was a prime example of companies that didn't have a revenue model, were not generating revenue, but they're getting a lot of investment money and they all collapsed. So you have to understand what you're investing in. Guys, hit the thumbs up button if you understand what you're investing in, all right? That you have the knowledge. Knowledge is power, and understanding what you're investing in. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the 5-star rating, hit the heart button wherever you're watching and listening, and subscribe if you haven't as yet. Warpaint says, so great to catch you live. Is there a book you recommend or focus on staying positive through ups and downs? Love your content. Well, I would recommend my book, but no, all jokes aside, I'm trying to think if there's something that I would say Warren Buffett's. There's a book about investing from Warren Buffett. Let me see. Because Warren Buffett gives some great principles about investing and having a long-term outlook and compound financing and so forth. I don't know which one it is. There's quite a few out there, but I would say check out some books by, like, maybe The Intelligent Investor, which covers, Warren Buffett and so forth, because it's about controlling your emotions and understanding the fundamental aspects of markets. Notice Warren Buffett often talks about interest rates and things like that. Majority of people don't when it comes to investing. Notice I share with you guys global liquidity, and some of you may be like, why the hell are you sharing global liquidity with us? Because this is what drives markets, both the stock market and crypto. People used to think it was the Bitcoin halving, but it's global liquidity. All of these things are moving with global liquidity, guys. And in addition, what the dollar is doing, right? Because there's an inverse correlation with risk assets and the dollar. So paying attention to these things, once you understand these things, it opens up your mind. I mean, it's like it's like this enlightenment moment. And these are the things they don't teach you in school. I was trying to think, why didn't they? Because this is the secret that's kept, and Wall Street guys know it. And the rest of mainstream, they get caught up in political talking points and the Republicans, Democrats. And don't get me wrong, there's some things we need to pay attention to when we vote. But when it comes to markets, don't get caught up with political talking points. Look at what the Fed is doing. Look at the charts and the data and the money, right? Liquidity. Are we in the QE cycle, QT? What's the Treasury doing? These are things I pay attention to now. I don't care what any president says about interest rates or whatever. I look at what the Fed is actually doing. And that has helped me to make money in this market. And that's what the hedge fund guys are looking at. And the VCs and so forth. They know that's just the thing they won't tell you, right? And that's the thing Jim Cramer won't tell you. They just say, oh, this is a great stock, you should go blah, 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 and hype you up, feelings and emotions. But what about the data, right? That's the thing they don't tell you. Let's see here. QE says, Tony, can you put eyes on XDC? You got any targets this bull run? So I don't hold XDC in full transparency. Let's take a look at it. Let's see. So its chart looks good. And like I was showing you guys with H bar, and I was showing you with XRP, the old all-time high, what is it, 19 cents? It went down to the bloody bear market, of course. It popped up last year with the ETF frenzy, and then it really popped up recently as some altcoins were waking up. A very good sign. So once again, I don't hold the token, but just being unbiased here, that's a very good sign. It's not far from its old all-time high. And remember, when a coin breaks out of its old all-time high, it enters into price discovery. So based on the chart here with a Fibonacci, could it go to 50 cents plus? Yeah. Not guaranteed, of course, but I like what I'm seeing on the chart versus some other charts out there, right? Same thing with HBAR, right? The very similar setup here. ADA also. Now, ADA is not looking as strong, but there's still room for it to move. At least it's up off the bear market bottom. But, you know, essentially you want your coin to look like the Solana chart. It's going to enter into price discovery once the market starts heating up again. So XDC, it looks good. John says, is there any coins you would consider buying in this mid-bull market? I've been holding back looking for good fundamentals in a project. So John, to be honest, my bags are pretty packed, but I have been thinking in full transparency of maybe grabbing some more SWE because I know there's a lot of like VC backing it. SWE, this project here. Let me see the chart. Let's see. I'm trying to see the oldest chart I can get with the most data. No. Maybe Coinbase. Possibly SWE. But I haven't pulled the trigger yet. But, you know, maybe I might grab. I don't think I'm going to grab new tokens to answer your question, John. I may just add to my existing holdings. Like, for example, I might grab some more Cardano because it's still has room to go. And it's not as up as, let's say, look at HBAR, right, on the chart, or XRP. Like, I'm not buying any more XRP because it is up a good amount, and my bags are full with XRP, so I'm not worried about that. Maybe I might get some more VeChain as well. Yeah, like VeChain has room to run, and I think it will run, although it needs to show some more strength. But I have this in my portfolio. I may add to it. And I say I may. I haven't pulled the trigger on any of these things yet. And even if I don't, I think I'm okay. My portfolio is up, and it's looking pretty good. Jenny says, when Richie Torres on the pod? I've been trying to get Richie Torres. It's hard to get him. I've been trying. So if you want to tweet at him for me, that'd be great. Force PW Bob says, any thoughts on Songbird? So I have the Songbird token in my portfolio. I have the Flare. I honestly don't know how Songbird's going to do. I think Flare is going to run, but then by default, maybe Songbird runs with it, right? But I honestly don't know. Oh, it is down pretty bad. So, oh, that's an ugly chart, guys. That is an ugly. I have this in my portfolio, but I can't be biased, right? That is a nasty chart right there. A big fat L. As you can see, if your chart looks like this, that's not a good sign, right? That is not a good sign, man. Oh man. So it may run following Flare a bit, but doesn't look like it's going to have much upside, honestly. But I'm more bullish on Flare, to be honest. And you can see Flare's chart looks much more reasonable here. So that Songbird chart is ugly as hell, man. Let's see here. Yes. So first, a great point. You can put your crypto profits in a stable coin and then cash out when you want. Yes. The only thing though, first up, they you have to keep in mind taxes, right? Some people may think, oh, I didn't put it into cash, I put it into stablecoin. That means I'm exempt from taxes. Just keep that in mind. You have to report that you put it into stablecoins. B3. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, trading will be 24/7 because they're going to tokenize stocks and commodities. You're absolutely right, XRP Ranger, but we're not there yet. We'll see. That may take a few years, honestly, because they have to build the infrastructure. Ondo, LFA Network. Yeah, Ondo. Honestly, I've been watching Ondo closely. Going back to who asked me the question. Someone asked me the question about which other. Oh, John Vaught, if I'm saying it right, had asked me which other coins I may invest in. Honestly, Ondo. I completely forgot about it, but Ondo is getting a lot of adoption, and looks like it has room to run here. So we'll see. I haven't bought it though, right? Because one, I don't want to spread myself too thin, and I'm also looking at the timing of the market and when to maybe grab some. Travis says, is 75 cents realistic for H bar? So using Fibonacci, let's see here. Could we go to, yeah, I think 75 cents is honestly pretty easy for H bar. I would love to get to $1. That would be beautiful. And maybe $1.50. That would be incredible. But I would say 75 is pretty easy. Hi, Amir. Welcome in. Fred Williams says, hi, Tony. Off topic. No, but I've been thinking more and more about adoption in crypto, that maybe the bear markets may be not so severe going forward. Thoughts? Yeah, Fred. I agree with you that I don't think the bear markets will be as severe, but there will be bear markets. We saw, here's the thing. It depends if there's some sort of major catalyst too. Like, for example, 2022, what did we see? Collapse of Celsius, collapse of FTX, collapse of Luna. If we don't have things like that, with these massive collapses that force tons of liquidations, then yeah, you're right. The bear markets are not going to be as severe, but make no mistake about it, there will be bear markets because markets move in cycles, right? Even the stock market, gold, anything, they move in cycles. Real estate, right? So don't let anyone ever tell you, oh, there's not going to be a bear market. It's always going to be bull. No, that's a lie. But to your point, the bear market may not be as severe. Like, could Bitcoin just correct and come down to 50K and find its bottom there? Yeah, that's possible. And that would be healthy. But to your point, with the ETFs and with more institutions buying, they don't have weak hands and they don't have lettuce hands, as they would say. They are long-term holders. And don't get me wrong, some will sell. Some of the ETF people who are holding ETFs are going to want to take profits, right? That's natural. It's normal. But you may have more long-term holders in those ETFs, and that could help stabilize the market more. We got some spam over here. Who's this dude? Yeah, this is spam. Okay. GS says, need to report tax for stablecoins. Yeah. So if you're cashing your crypto to stablecoins, that is a taxable event. They almost see that as cashing out to or moving your crypto to cash. Hey, Tony, for someone who holds some XRP, what are 2 to 3 coins I should also be holding this year? HBAR, ADA, and what else? XDC. Yeah, I think HBAR and ADA are good holds as well, secondary holds. Yeah, I hold both of them in my portfolio. I don't have XAC, but we were just talking about it. The XDC chart looks good. That is not a bad looking chart. Now, as always, there's no guarantee. It's going to pump to whatever price, but that chart looks good, man. It's not down here in the in the doldrums of the bear market zone. It is up and not far from its old all-time high. That's a good sign. JS, I don't know where you live. If you're in the United States, that's the case. But, you know, if you're in another country, I think you got to check your local tax laws. Yeah, 30% correction should, I think, maybe 30, 40%. We'll see. No guarantees, but, you know, I don't think it's going to be as bloody as we've seen historically. There's going to be less volatility for sure. Guys, hit that thumbs up button, hit the 5-star button, hit the heart button wherever you're watching and listening. Be sure to subscribe. Check out our sponsor, Propy, and the new campaign they have where you can earn free pro tokens, guys. Go earn these free pro tokens. I'm a Propy token holder. I have been since like 2018. I'm bullish on this project. They're bringing real estate on chain. They're doing some amazing things. So we've talked about the future of finance with tokenized assets, and real estate will go in the blockchain. They're putting deeds and titles and much more in the blockchain, guys. And they just launched a great ad campaign. So check it out. Go watch it on their Twitter profile. I'll drop the link here. And go earn those free tokens, guys. Free Propy tokens. And check out my newsletter, 100% free, link in the description. Check out my book on Amazon and my course at mycryptocourse.com. Features expert commentary. No other crypto course offers this. So yeah, guys, we got to be patient. The market will play with your emotions, but you got to check your emotions, guys. A lot of chop, lots of fake outs, but no invalidation of the bull market. We are still in the bull market, and as I started the stream with, the macro is setting up beautifully for the next move. Global liquidity is on the rise. The DXY is breaking down, and both of these things are catalysts to drive risk assets higher. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up in another couple minutes. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat. Amir says, hi, Tony. Can you get an interview with Paul Atkins before he gets into office? So, Amir, I'm going to try. He's going to be in high demand right now. I spoke to some folks at the SEC, even Hester Peirce, about trying to get him on. So we shall see. Adrian says, hey, Tony, what's your thoughts on Sierra? Can we get back to all-time high? So that is the crypto.com token. Sierra. Let's see. Chronos, right? Yeah. Okay. So not seeing a ton of strength here, but the bull market, there's still room to run, but I would love to see it more strength. Like it's struggling a bit. That doesn't mean it can't run, but I don't know if it's going to break all-time highs based on what I'm seeing here. It's possible. It's right now very oversold. You notice its RSI is below 30. It's very oversold. So there could be a strong move coming soon. Same thing I was calling out for ETH, right? ETH is oversold. So there could be a strong move coming soon. So just keep in mind that some coins may not break all-time highs. They may just retrace to their old all-time highs or just below it, right? They may not enter price discovery. So just be prepared for that. Thanks, Force PW Bob. Appreciate that. Tony, what are your top 3 of your most held coins? Hope that's not too bad. No, actually, people who are channel members, they can see my portfolio. I have XRP my number 1, Bitcoin my number 2, Ethereum my number 3. Excuse me. Remember, I've been buying since 2016, so my portfolio is going to look a bit different. Hey, Sec Mike Hawk, thank you, man. Thank you for becoming a channel member. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Rafi, so go to the link I publish in there. It's simply they tell you what to do. So you can get 10 free tokens for like sharing their video, inviting a friend and so forth. So go to this link right here. So Propy is leading in putting real estate on chain, guys. They're partnering with Coinbase for crypto escrow. You can use their platform to buy real estate with crypto, which is pretty amazing. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I've been doing this over an hour. Thank you for your support. Appreciate you all. As always, I wish you all the best of luck in this bull market, that you make incredible returns. As mentioned, check out Propy, our sponsor, and all the other sponsors in the description. Go check out Propy's video and new ad and much more. And if you can support, sign up the free newsletter, check out the book, and sign up for the new course at mycryptocourse.com. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.